2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
The beaches of Santa Monica. And David.
Well, Kevin.
David Aldridge, thank you. And now the Lakers starting group. Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Marcus Gasol is out there with Morris. And it's Schroeder in at the point. And for the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard is out there with Batum. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then there's Reggie Jackson. And it's George in at the shooting guard position. Now here's Jackson. It's stolen by Morris. And it's the Lakers on the break. Caldwell Pope with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Schroeder passes to Gasol. That one, no good. And the Clippers will come the other way. Greg, if your system overall for these teams, if the schemes don't seem to be working, how much can you really change before you get to the offseason? Or, in particular, before you get to the playoffs?
It's never easy. A system change would come typically with a coaching change. And the reality is you also have to evaluate the roster, and you can't fit that square peg into a round hole. Whatever your system is, it's got to be catered to the personnel you have. You can't go the other way around, and I think that's what separates oftentimes the good coaches from the great ones.
And James picks up the foul. That's his first foul. George dishes to Jackson. Zubac kicks to Jackson. Zubac the pass to George. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Zubac.
We love how Gasol gets after it on defense. He uses his reach to pester shooters.
And now the fast break. Schroeder with the ball over Jackson. And again, the Lakers no good. Clippers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Outside, George. Shoots. High quality look, and he sinks it. George has got 5 now.
And this is why you get George the ball there. He's solid at figuring out how to capitalize.
Here's James. Banked in off the glass.
And boy, did they need that one. Their first make in the 5 field goal attempts they've had.
George looking over the floor. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Morris inside, defended by Batum. Morris, no good. Well, it was the Clippers. Their last game, a loss to the Mavericks in Dallas. Leonard, no luck. And here's James. He'll bring it up for the Lakers. It's a 3-point game. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
They shot the lights out from deep. Really stretched out the defense in that one.
Well, nowadays, the 3-point shot is huge. They were on fire from outside.
Now here's Jackson after the miss from Dennis Schroeder. And the dunk by Zubac.
Oh, and when there's an open man, Jackson finds him, making it look very easy.
Schroeder against Jackson. Count that one.
Excellent work offensively to get that shot attempt into a can't-miss area.
Batum against Morris. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Jackson kicks to Leonard. Zubac in the post. Working on Gasol. Outside, George. Here's Batum. That shot, no good. And the Lakers going the other way now. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
Well, how often do we hear it? You know, you got to take care of the basketball. I mean, they got to be much more disciplined tonight.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Both shots good from the stripe.
The agility, instincts, the power. I mean, James remains a dominant figure on both ends of the floor.
On the wing, Morris. From 8. And no good. Great D that time from Harrell.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
Oh, you love seeing James soar like an eagle. He's exceptional at rising up quickly for the alley-oop.
Left side, Williams. And the wide open shot from Morris. And the Clippers miss again. The Lakers in the lead. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The shot's good from Kuzma.
Good at taking initiative inside. Once Kuzma is near the hoop, he's focused on scoring.
The Clippers shooting a pretty distressing 27% here in the early minutes. And the pass to man. Here's Morris. He kicks it to Patterson. To end the run. Caruso grabs the miss. Here's Harrell. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. The Lakers on top. And it's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. And from what we've seen so far from the Lakers, guys, what are your thoughts?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, they really got after it. I mean, they made life extremely difficult for the shooters, which is why they hold this lead.
We've got Luke Kennard. Marcus Morris is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then it's Williams. And it's man in at the small forward. They're the group out there for the Clippers starting the second quarter. Lakers leading by 3. Floats it up there for Harrell. It's stolen by Morris. Here's man. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Kennard the pass to Morris. He dishes it to Patterson. The Lakers with the rebound.
Oh, no. Sloppy finish. D was giving him the layup. He just didn't stay with it.
Second chance shot. Pass to Harrell. Kuzma, right side. Here's Horton Tucker. And Greg, you play with some big personalities. Talk about the best way to manage egos and conflicts in the locker room. That's a very interesting topic.
No doubt about it. You know, Kev, first thing you learn from middle school on, your team is your family. And let's face it, all families have spats, and so do teams. You just learn to never personalize those things. Never leave any stone unturned. Like, don't let things fester. When there are issues, you address them. And if you're not taking things personally, you tend to be able to work through whatever issues you may come in front of.
Good advice. And the Clippers miss again.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Outside for George. Tips it up. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Patterson's got his first basket.
Oh, smooth. Guys, very good job getting himself in close enough that he could just tip it back in.
Well said. Those kind of plays in the offensive glass can tell the story sometimes, can't they?
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Here's Williams. And the slam by Williams.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
They needed that, and I love that he just didn't settle for the lay-in.
Morris right side. Clippers moving the ball around. Here's George. And Jones sends it back. They get it back. Here's Caruso. Currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Here's Horton Tucker. Jones trying to get open. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. The Lakers making a switch here. Schroeder's checked in. We have got to see that sensational mobile one block again.
And read the play perfectly. Gets himself in the air at the right moment. Terrific denial.
Zubac trying to break loose. Fouled on the... And here we go with the coach's challenge. Not surprised in a competitive game like this. And he's disputing the personal foul call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Now here's Leonard. Puts it up from 7. The Clippers need to get off a shot. Kennard for 3. LeBron grabs the miss.
Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
Caldwell Pope against Kennard. Count that bucket.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Schroeder outside. Lays it up and banks it in.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Clippers trail by 3. Outside Jackson. Passes it to Kennard. To the inside. Zubac, that's good.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Schroeder up top. His last outing, 16 points for him.
Setup's good. That's the shot they're looking for, but you can't get them all to go.
Kennard. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
And that's out of bounds. The Lakers will retain possession. Here's Schroeder. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's James. Gasol trying to free himself up.
And James shows no mercy on his drives to the rim. Vicious at penetrating inside.
Jackson kicks to Leonard. Over LeBron. And the last shot before the buzzer is off.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. They didn't get more than a one-possession. And that's a...
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Look at LeBron James. He's really been playing well.
Man, how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
This game has his fingerprints all over it. Now looking to replicate what he did in the first half.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. So for the Lakers right now, Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Marc Gasol is out there with Markieff Morris. And it's Schroeder in at the point guard. Here's Batum following the basket by Marc Gasol. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense nowhere to be found.
James looking it over. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but drew contact. He'll head to the line. Teams have dynasties. The 90s, Michael Jordan. We've seen it over the many decades. Over the next decade, though, who do you think is going to lead the pack there, Greg?
Ooh, that's a great question. You know, with the way Father Time is treating LeBron, you might have to wait and see because he is still playing at such a high level. But, you know, obviously Giannis has got to be on the short list with the Bucks. For me, I really look at Luka in Dallas. I just feel like with Kristaps Porzingis, that duo could just be deadly with how the game is played. But don't sleep on the Celtics with Tatum and Brown and that group that they have with the front office they have. Man, I think the league overall is going to be in great shape moving forward.
It sure seems that way. And it's the Clippers with the ball after the basket by the Lakers. George with the ball. Now guarded by Schroeder. The shot by George, no good.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Caldwell Pope finds Schroeder. Up and in on the layup. Now it's a 7-point Laker lead.
Yeah, liking the vision there from Caldwell Pope, looking to get his guys going when they're open.
Here's Jackson. Here's Zubats. And yes, it's good. Zubats has got 8.
There's that passion of his, battling with every ounce of energy he has.
It's Schroeder with the drive. It's good. Schroeder's got the lead back up to 7 now for the Lakers.
Oh, wow. 4 of 5 to start the half. Coming out on fire.
Here's Jackson. Zubats. And James pulls it down. James has got 5 rebounds tonight.
Solid rebound there. And with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
They're not playing defense with anywhere near the passion they showed in the first half. There's been a big-time drop-off.
Now here's Jackson. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Rebound the Lakers. LeBron's got 6 rebounds in the game.
Well, he has to work harder to get a good high percentage look. I mean, he's been taking some bad shots out there.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
You can learn a lot by watching him operate in their offense.
And so James will bring it up for the Lakers. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. And LeBron throws it down hard.
Oh, come on, Hall of Fame athleticism and ability. James has no problem throwing it down in style.
George against Caldwell Pope.
And they found exactly the shot they wanted. I mean, they'll take that every time.
Now here's James. 14 points for him. And Gasol now top of the key. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. Gasol's got the lead up to 11 now for the Lakers.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
George against Caldwell Pope. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And, you know, you go back to that horrific leg injury in Vegas back in 2014, and Paul George hasn't just made it back to the NBA. He's come back a better player.
A platoon swap here for the Lakers.
Oh, not many players with the more steady hand at the free throw line than this fella.
Here's Caruso. And that one is stuffed right through.
Just rubbing it in their faces with that dunk.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
What a performer this guy is. He relishes the chance to hammer it down.
Here's Oturu. Can't cash in on the 10-foot jumper.
For a player who's almost a sure thing to score in tight, that one's a stunner.
Carroll, that's good.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
George with the ball. He's got 11. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
And I just love the aggressiveness from George, just slicing apart the defense with that terrific ability to penetrate.
This is his second trip to the free throw line. Just 4 seconds left in the third quarter. with 2 seconds left, and the layup is good. Caruso's got 6.
And really the story of this second half, one team getting the shots they want, the other not so much.
Yeah, you can.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Lakers ahead, up by 12. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. In a moment now, as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
Yeah, no need for hero ball there. I mean, you just need to make the right basketball play. Outstanding dish that time.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. We've got Williams. Morris is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then it's Luke Kennard. And it's man in at the 3, the small forward. That's who's out there for the Clippers.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Yeah. Horrible effort. It appears they may be on the brink of giving up. His offense has been non-existent tonight. It's really hurting him.
Kuzma passes to Jones. Here we go, one-on-one. Pass to man. Back to Morris. There's the pass to man. Back to Morris. Over Harrell. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Caruso, the pass to Jones. Kuzma outside. 5 to shoot. Out left to the wing. Here's Caruso. He's guarded by Williams. Caruso kicks to Kuzma. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Patterson's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Mann. He hits it from 9. Mann's got his first bucket in this one.
Well, this is why Kennard's teammates appreciate him. He's good at sharing the wealth when they're uncovered.
And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Here's Caruso. He's guarded by Williams. Harrell, that's good.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Now here's Williams. Tight defense on him. Good.
So savvy inside for a player of his size and tough. Williams will do whatever it takes.
Here's Caruso. To the paint. It's stolen by Morris. Here's Mann. Guarded by Kuzma. Mann gets the bucket.
And don't sleep on Williams' ability to create for others. That's a veteran play.
Here's Caruso. 1:51 left in the fourth. Pass to Horton Tucker. And that one's good, Caruso. And the Lakers lead by 12.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of.
And here is Williams. Kicks to Patterson. Back to Williams. Fires the 3. Rebound by Harrell. Lakers leading by 12. Caruso looking for an opening. Fires the 3. They get it back. And there's another turnover by the Lakers.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Lakers.
Looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders. And on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the board.
They made the most
of those extra rebounds as well, Kevin.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins. And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for LeBron.
Well, he had a hand in just about everything they did tonight. I mean, he just didn't take a single possession off on either end. He was the complete package.
The offensive rebound, kicks it out to Leonard. Second shot opportunity. He squares up and sinks it.
You can just see the passion and love with which he plays the game. You see how he prepares, the work ethic, the way he interacts with his teammates. And when he hits the floor, it's all about the game.
Here's Schroeder. 6 to shoot from past the arc. LeBron, no luck. And now running up the court, Leonard pushing it up. From deep. Off on that one. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's good.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
You're looking live and down. And with
Kevin, thanks.
Thanks, David. Greg, in terms of personnel, not exactly the matchups we were expecting to see tonight.
You know, Kevin, with all the injuries and some guys now having to step into unfamiliar roles, in some ways that makes tonight all the more intriguing to see which guys are going to step up and deliver.
Here are the starters for Brooklyn. They've got Harris. Irving is out there with Harden. And it's Durant. And it's Jordan in at the 5, roaming the paint. And for the Lakers, Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Marcus Gasol is out there with Kyle Kuzma. And it's Schroeder in at the 1. And so it's the Nets getting on the board first. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And what do you do with LeBron on the loose and coming at you full speed? All you can do is foul him.
And he sinks the second. And so it's Irving. He brings it up for the Nets. Pass to KD. From the left block, back to Irving. Baseline jumper. The rebound by the Lakers. They're looking for a little bit of redemption in this one after the loss to them here last time.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
A combination of unforced errors and just poor decision making. They need to be much better in that aspect of the game this time around.
Yeah, and then knifing into the middle. Caldwell Pope, not just a perimeter threat. Young fella can elevate.
Here's Irving. And he banks in the layup. Irving's got his second bucket tonight.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
No excuse. You have to be aware. He should be on your radar all the time.
The Nets have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. It's stolen by Schroeder. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Harris. Here's Harden, and the jam by Harden.
The minute KD gets the ball, all eyes are on him. That leaves a wide open man.
And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Here's James, and finished off by LeBron.
And he's not going to pass up on chances like that. Even with just a sliver of daylight, he can get to the rim.
And on the way from Irving for 3. Does not score with that shot. It's his second miss against 2 made shots. And for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's best when he lets the game come to him, when he's not forcing shots, not making things tough on himself, not making tough passes. You know, Smitty, a simple approach does wonders for him.
Kevin, you applaud the maturity of KCP to realize that. He knew he needed to change his game to improve. Focusing on making the easy play has made him a very valuable member of this team.
Here's LeBron, following the basket by Kyrie Irving. Here's Schroeder, and it's blocked by Jordan.
Impeccable timing on the rejection. Jordan takes pride in his defensive capabilities. I'm not sure what happened on that play. May have relaxed a little bit once he got to the rim.
Here's Schroeder. Rebound, Brooklyn. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And a lot of that was game plan, putting guys in a position to succeed, particularly on the offensive end.
They understood what the defense was trying to take away and game planned a great strategy to take advantage of it.
And a new group in for the Nets. Griffin's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Green comes in for Kevin Durant. Luwawu Cabarro, he's checked in for Harris. And it's Bruce Brown in for James Harden. Here's Caruso, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Now the pass to Horton Tucker. Shot clock at 6. Inside, it's tipped. Griffin with the steal. Here's Luwawu, and it goes down 2 points.
That play is made because of Kyrie's vision and his willingness to share the basketball. 1:03 left in the first quarter.
Here's Caruso to stop the run. Caldwell Pope trying to break free, and he sinks the layup.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Irving against Caldwell Pope. Goes up from the top of the key. Irving, good. Irving's got 11 points.
Man, he has been locked in this quarter, shouldering the load at the offensive end.
Harrell, the pass to Caldwell Pope. Back to Harrell. It doesn't go for him. Nice D from Griffin. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Luwawu-Cabarrot kicks to Irving. And the three off target. Lakers trail by 6. And out of bounds as Brooklyn gains possession. A fantastic mobile one block. This one deserves another look.
Some intimidation right away. Got to show those shooters you're going to be there all night long.
Pass to Griffin. One second left. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And we reach the end of the first quarter. And recently, Kevin Durant discussed what they have to fix.
I think you get a lot of teams' best shot.
And Greg, it's one of the great challenges of being one of the teams to beat.
But that's the difference with a superstar like Durant. He can give you elite play from start to finish. Lesser guys can do that only in spurts.
And we return to the second quarter, and no Jay Latina. Specialized jerseys on display. Welcome back, everyone. And taking a look at the Nets' performance here, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
Well, they've been aggressive from the beginning, particularly on the offensive end.
And that has helped them build an advantage here, playing with good focus and good energy.
They've got Jones. Montrezl Harrell is out there with Morris, and it's Caruso in at the point. That's the group for the Lakers to start the second quarter. And that one's good. Griffin.
Nice job by Griffin on the pick and roll. Great hands and great finish.
And Landry Shamet out of Wichita State. Some good young guards coming out of that program.
And another one, GA, that comes to mind, Fred VanVleet, also a former Shocker. Both he and Fred, they are knockdown shooters.
Now here's Jones. 8 points his last outing. Got a piece of it. Here's Green. Horton Tucker with the rebound. Lakers trail by 6. Passes it to Caruso. Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. Jones finds Harrell. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. The second chance effort. And there's the bucket as Jones finishes it off.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now, here's Brown. 11 points for him in that last game against Indiana. Not going to go that time, so Los Angeles will take it the other way. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And that one was all about offensive execution, running your plays, picking your spots.
That was the key message going in. Be efficient. Everyone was on the same page, and you got a chance to see the results.
So it's Brooklyn now after the basket by Los Angeles. Back to Brown from deep three-point range. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. And that'll be the third of the 4 straight at home. Goes back up. Jones, no luck. For Brooklyn, they've gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
The Nets making a switch here. Jordan, he's checked in for Griffin. Durant comes in for Green. Joe Harris is checked in for Luwawu-Cabarrot. And it's Harden in for Brown. James looking around. Oh, my goodness!
Did you see
what a play?
Unbelievable. Respect. LeBron showing the artistry that other players could only dream of.
Harden with it. Gasol covering.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And his competitiveness showing through. That's an aggressive finish.
He is just unwilling to settle. He gets right to the rim and makes sure they come away with points.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Markieff Morris. And a switch here for Brooklyn. Kyrie Irving's checked in for Landry Shamet. Here's LeBron, and James throws it down hard.
The quick first step of James, along with his power, that's the difference on the drive.
Kuzma against Harden. Here's Jordan. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. And the Nets lead by 2.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
That puts them in the lead. Kuzma's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
When Kuzma is this focused, he shoots it so well, even outside his comfort zone.
Harden kicks to Irving. Left side, Harris. Again, the Nets for 2. A lot of give and take between these sides early.
Yeah, and both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
The feed to LeBron. Back to Schroeder. He dishes it to LeBron. Lakers shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game.
And it's been an average year, really, at the free throw line for this group, only around 75%.
And to think LeBron in high school was recruited by some D1 colleges to play wide receiver, boy, what a downfield target he would have been.
Here is Harden. He had 40 points in the win against the Pacers in Indianapolis.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. I mean, he dominated the backboard.
Here's Schroeder. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following him.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball. LeBron James putting in some incredible work. He had 13 points, and that does it for our...
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. It's been a clinic out there by James.
Definitely been challenging the defense here early on, not settling for anything outside.
He's been very effective on the move, forcing the action, getting to his spots, and finishing plays.
And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. Durant is out there with Jordan. Then there's Harris. Then there's Irving. And it's Harden in at the point guard. The importance of the three-point shot never greater than right now, and in your eyes, there are some players who are just absolutely dead, solid, perfect from distance.
No doubt about it. And you know, there's 3 guys to me, though, that kind of separate themselves. And it's one, because you have to honor their ability equally off the dribble, from 3, and at attacking the paint. Steph Curry, James Harden, and Damian Lillard. Those 3 guys can all hit pull-ups and step backs from range off the dribble. They all got great vision, you know, so they can take advantage of defenses that get caught loading a little too much. And then they also are terrific in the paint at getting to the free throw line. So those are the 3 guys I think that create the most havoc when you start talking about having to guard the three-point line.
And finished off by LeBron.
LeBron is having himself a game. Staying aggressive, playing with a lot of force.
Nets trail by 4. Irving surveying the floor. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Durant, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Durant's got his first 2 points.
Attacking the heart of the defense, Durant on the finishing end of a smart play design.
On its way from Caldwell Pope for 2. The wing jumper off target. And it's Irving with the ball for the Brooklyn Nets. They get to take on the Magic at Orlando after this one. That'll be the third game of this 3-game road trip. Lakers have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. The shot that time, not on target. And Brooklyn will come the other way. It's stolen by Schroeder. Caldwell Pope against Harris. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. Durant down low. Harden right side. For the tie. Some solid defense from Gasol. The Lakers in the lead. And an intentional foul right there.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Jordan. Schroeder against Harden. Floats one up. Griffin with the steal. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break. Irving leading the charge. And he hits it to tie the game up. Irving's got 15 points.
Nice pass here to set that basket up.
LeBron against Durant. And LeBron throws it down hard.
The raw power of James excels at taking on physical defense and finishing.
Harden outside. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Harden's got the game tied up here for the Nets.
Beautiful call that time up the floor. The hard screen frees him up for the bunny.
James outside. Feeds to Harrell. Griffin with the steal. It's Harden with the drive, and Harden with the stuff.
And once Harden has momentum behind him, watch out. They love seeing the beard flush it down there with some power. I mean, hard to fathom that Blake Griffin is becoming one of the more prolific three-point shooters among NBA big men.
Greg, it was a shot he barely attempted through his first 6 seasons in the league. Now he's made it a key part of his arsenal.
Durant to the middle. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
When you put a smaller player on Blake, he has the ability to drive it, draw contact, and get to the free throw line.
Morris is checked in for the Lakers. Alex Caruso comes in for Dennis Schroeder. Then for the Nets, Green, he's checked in for Durant. Bruce Brown comes in for Harris. And Landry Shamet subbed in for Irving. Now here's James. 22 points for him. Griffin with it. He's picked up by James. Here's Green. Yep, that one goes. Green's got his first 2 points of the night.
Great look by Blake Griffin. When your foreman has that ability to pass the basketball, it's a major advantage.
Morris passes to Horton Tucker. Harrell against Griffin. Griffin with the steal. In transition, here come the Nets. Here's Shamet. Dishes it to Green. Lays it up off the glass. Now it's a 6-point Brooklyn lead.
You need guys who are willing to make the next pass. Shamet doesn't rack up a lot of assists, but he's unselfish.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
And coach can't like what he's seeing, trying to get them refocused.
It's so easy to get run over when you lose even a little edge. Look for them to come out much more aggressive.
Jones checked in for Harrell. Harris is checked in for Brooklyn. .30 seconds left in the third. The drive by LeBron. And the dunk by James.
You can't give a steamroller like LeBron that kind of opening. He'll bury you every time.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. The Nets making a switch here. Durant's checked in. There's 25 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. The tray drills the three-pointer. Durant's got the lead up to 7 now for the Nets.
just what this offense is designed to do. Get Durant these kinds of looks.
The drive by James. He gets it in there. LeBron's got 13 points in the second half.
Playing from behind right here, not easy, but he is answering the bell.
The reason why is not just scoring, it's the way he's doing it. Efficient. That's what you need at this point in the game.
The third quarter comes to a close. It's the Nets up by 5. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
This is what you need your floor general to do. Take charge, lead by example, unselfish play.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. And here we go, Coach's Challenge happening right now. This one in regards to the personal foul, seeing if that was the right call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Harden outside. The 10-footer. And it's off the back rim, no good.
Very surprising. He gets the ball where he wants it in a decent matchup.
Here's Morris. Jones trying to get open. That is good. And the Nets' lead is cut down now to just 3 in the basket for Morris. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Pass to Durant. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to go on Markieff Morris.
Kept the defender on a string, and with the pump fake, KD cooling him for the cheap foul.
That's good from Durant. Some changes for the Lakers. Marc Gasol comes in for Damian Jones. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Alex Caruso. And the Nets making a change here as well. Irving's checked in. Schroeder with the ball. He's picked up by KD. Good work there as it goes. Nets leading by 3. Harden scanning the floor. Brown wide open. He fires. Offensive rebound. The kick out to Irving. Another shot. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
And the Lakers making a change here. Kuzma's checked in. Back to Gasol. And stolen by Jordan. Harden the pass to Durant. The kick out to Irving. Harden outside. Moves back up. 6 to shoot. Here's Jordan outside for KD. Nets passing it around. Jordan finds KD. Brooklyn needs to get off a shot here. No luck. They battled on the glass but couldn't knock it down. Caldwell Pope passes to Schroeder, and Durant sends it back.
You forget, Durant has the reach of a center. He can provide rim protection.
And now they decide to foul intentionally. And the Lakers making a change here. James is checked in. Harris is checked in for Brooklyn. Now Harden. third minute of action now gone here in the fourth. Schroeder passes to Caldwell Pope, and Jordan sends it back, and he's able to get it back. Nobody near Schroeder. Caldwell Pope kicks it over to Schroeder. Second shot opportunity. Count that one, and the Nets' lead has been cut to just 1 point on the basket from Kuzma.
They need one, so Kuzma steps up. They're lucky to have a player like Kuz.
To stop the drought. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Calm in the heat of the storm. Kyrie with a big bucket. Tight ball game. Who do you want at the charity stripe? This guy.
Lakers have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. James in the post, defended by Durant, and LeBron throws it down hard.
When you need a big score, you want LeBron to at least touch the ball, and this is why.
Here's Harden, and he goes right over Kyle Kuzma and slams it down.
And this is what great players do. Harden understanding how to deliver in a big moment.
James against Durant. Got a piece of it. Here's Gasol. Kicks it out to James. From deep. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. James has got 5 points now in the quarter. Harden dishes to Durant. Here's Harden on the wing. Money!
Big-time basket at a big-time moment.
This is why we all watch. The NBA is about these moments.
Durant against James. Out to the wing to tie it up. A putback, and Gasol able to finish.
Stepping up with the game on the line, Marc Gasol delivering in the clutch.
Guys, they're not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. Now's the time to burn some clock.
Irving passes to KD. It falls!
I mean, no hesitation in the clutch. Scoring the ball is second nature to KD.
Over in the corner, Caldwell Pope. They get the rebound. It drops.
Your go-to guy in these situations, LeBron has been here before plenty of times.
Harden up top. To the paint. Here's Jordan. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2.
We know he's one of the best offensive players in the league. What I've seen lately from Kyrie is an improvement in his focus on the defensive end. That's why you want him at the line when the game is close. He knows how to deliver in the clutch.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're trailing by 3. 1 second left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
And only one choice here. They need a 3. I'm sure he's going to sub in all of his best shooters. Under 2 seconds remaining. It has to be a catch-and-shoot 3 if they hope to tie it.
And so it's Brooklyn who scrapes by with the win. This win, such a tremendous emotion. David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks.
But game two, right, that's you win or you go home. And I wasn't in that much of my rhythm yet. I found it throughout the game, and then down the stretch, he was down 3, and my main goal was just don't give up any threes. Don't give up any threes. So I fouled him a couple of times, and the last possession I ended up getting a stop. So I got
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Up next. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for DH.
Kevin, thanks very much.
Much needed indeed, David. Thank you. Here are the 5 for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Batum. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Jackson in at the point. And for Brooklyn, Kyrie Irving is out there with Harden. Then it's Joe Harris. And it's Durant. And it's Jordan in at the center, filling out the middle. And here's Brooklyn. Last time they met was in Los Angeles, where they beat the Clippers.
And they really squeaked out a close one in that last matchup. Came down to just a few turnovers that gave them the margin of victory.
Well, composure, execution, efficiency in a tight ball game is typically what's going to determine the winner.
And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That is his first foul of the game. Greg, we're still involved in the conference system. Does it hold relevance as we're looking here at the standings midseason?
You know, for travel distance, yes, and there's also some tradition at stake. I mean, look, that said, in a perfect world, you'd like to see the best 16 teams make the playoffs each year, but we've had, you know, imbalance in conferences forever, so that's not going to change, but sometimes change is just necessary.
How about quickly for the playoffs? Would you like to reseed and take the top 16s, 1 through 16?
I would. I think that'd be a great idea.
Now here's Jackson, following the miss by Kyrie Irving. That one good for 2. Jackson's got his second basket of the night.
And good to see Jackson finish closer in. Not a guard who just chucks up threes. Can find the creases with that handle.
Irving, good.
Yeah, the drive to the bucket was great, but the finger roll was even better.
Clippers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game.
And Clark, when you look at the footwork of James Harden, arguably some of the best in the history of this league.
And you know, Greg, he studied the greats. I mean, he loved Ginobili's Euro step and then added it to his own game. Now he's taking that to another level, and he's the one giving out the lessons. But you're right, got great strength, but the footwork is really outstanding.
Bruce Brown, who's checked in for the Nets. And the Nets with possession. Durant kicks to Brown. Outside for KD. 5 to shoot. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
Methodical and productive from mid-range. Few players in the NBA shoot it like Kevin Durant.
And George, here we go. And it's George finishing it off.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
Well, that's how you drive your point home right there.
He's lucky to get away with that, though, guys. I mean, it could have earned him a technical for hanging on too long.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Now here's Jackson. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Outside for George. Rebounded by the Nets.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Well, I tell you what, Paul George is so tough on defense. Love the way he gets after people. He's excellent at staying in the play as well as staying in his stance so he can come up with rejections and deflection.
The Nets have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. And then Durant with the dunk.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And you know you're going to get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that ball up the court as fast as you can.
Now here's Jackson. And Jordan sends it back.
Hey, get that weak stuff out of here. Take it home. Jordan is fantastic at rejecting those kinds of shots.
Hands with the ball out of bounds. Jordan touched it last.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Griffin's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. And then for Los Angeles, Patrick Patterson. He's checked in for Zubac. Marcus Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. Lou Williams is subbed in for Reggie Jackson.
You know, defenders like to try to get physical with Williams. I'll tell you what, his strength belies his size.
Harden against Williams. And that one drops. Harden's got 6.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Williams looking around. Down low. Outside Leonard.
Boy, he's got to be disappointed in the result there. I mean, the defender really didn't make any impact at all.
To the inside. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Boy, the timing of Griffin really superb in these situations. He has a great sense for when to leave the floor on these alley-oop jams.
Bucket is good.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Harden outside. Got it. Good job in the low post. 8 points for him.
Yeah, that barrel-chestedness of Harden's, so much strength and body control. It's hard to stop him from scoring.
James Harden getting it done for the Brooklyn Nets. Naturally a ball-dominant player. James Harden talked to him.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal, of course.
Giving their offense another dynamic.
And it also helps him preserve some energy for those big moments in the big games.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1/4 of action so far. And from Brooklyn guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Yeah, and it's worked. They've got a clear edge and points in the paint. Now we'll see if they go with a more balanced attack or just keep on pounding it inside.
And the Clippers, looking at who they've got Morris. Kennard is out there with Williams. Then there's Patrick Patterson, and it's man in at the 3 slot.
Boy, great display of concentration and tenacity from Irving there. Fighting his way through contact, getting it up and down, plus the foul.
Free throw, good, Irving. Frankie, we hear this a lot. It's almost too popular now to say good offense beats good defense. Being a defensive-minded player yourself, do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely, Kevin. And the thing is, in today's game, when I played, there was an era, you could hold teams in the 80s and 90s. You could go a quarter and keep them at 12, 15 points. You can't do that now. It's different. You've got to be able to win stretches of 2 and 3 minutes. And honestly, you're right. The offense does dictate far more, but it doesn't discount the importance of defense. And if you still look at the reigning champs and the teams that have won titles recently, that's still one area that they're consistent in, is their defensive approach.
Outside for Griffin. Passes to Irving. It's hauled in by the Clippers. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
Hey, they had their opportunities, but let's face it, they choked from the line. Hard to win that way on the road.
Hey, knocking down free throws in a hostile environment is really about the battle of the mind.
And now Irving pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Drops in the breakaway layup. Irving's got the lead up to 9 now for the Nets.
Boy, that's exactly how you punish a team in transition. Kyrie getting out in front and going straight on the attack.
Right side, Williams. Nice D from Griffin.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Well, guys, they need to do something to reduce this deficit. We'll see if that's the answer.
And here is Williams. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. And again, it's the Clippers missing. Brooklyn leading by 11. Here's Llewellyn. Irving for 3. The rebound by Patterson.
That is fantastic defense on one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Didn't give him an inch of room.
Out to Morris. Back to Patterson. The baseline J. And that one goes long. Nets have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Williams against Irving. Count it.
You know, when Irving rises up to take these shots, so smooth in how he gets it done. He always seems to be in control.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Here's Williams. Lays it up and banks it in. Williams has got 6.
Now, I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
And a wide open look for Irving. Another miss by Irving.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Patterson passes to Williams. Back to Patterson. Nice D from Griffin.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
The shot's good. Luwalu's got his first points of the game.
And Green is a critical role player for this team. His passing is really phenomenal.
Williams passes to Patterson. Good. Great play by Williams to set it up.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Outside Irving. Green taking his time here. Here's Griffin. Misses from close range. Clippers trail by 11. Kennard with the ball. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Outside Williams. Morris left side. They double him with Green. Morris, no good.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Outside Irving. High post try. No good on that one. And so we wrap up the first half. All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter suit.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Well, Durant having to sit out all last year due to injury. Now that he's back, how do you feel? Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. And it's Harden with the ball for the Brooklyn Nets. When this game is done, they'll be off to Orlando and they'll take on the Magic. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And Brooklyn, oh, what a play! Woo!
Yeah, you know, George really enjoys being in the air. I mean, this guy has great body control and bounce, and his slams at times can be absolutely sick.
Harden has a wide open look. Good. And Harris gets the assist. Harden's got 11.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Yeah, I love the fact he doesn't play the score. He just keeps coming, attack mode. He doesn't know how to step off the gas pedal.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Harden the pass to KD. Can't cash in from close range. Clippers trail by 10. And George, here we go. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. George has got 6 in the quarter.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
You know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Irving finds Harden. Yes, once again, he remains perfect. 6 attempts and 6 hits.
Boy, he's been a rock of offensive support so far, and when they've needed a basket, they've turned to him.
Jackson down low, guarded by Jordan. Zubac's no good.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Nets leading by 10. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. And here's Harden for three. Batum grabs the miss. For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. And that one's good. Leonard.
And they're showing much more focus here in the second half. More effort as well. And their offense starting to show signs of life.
Harris outside. Reggie Jackson with the rebound. Clippers trail by 8. The pass to George. And foul on the shot. And now, yep, this will be a coach's challenge. We thought that might happen, triggering a review of the personal foul.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively and involving the coaches by being able now. A challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
The Nets making a switch here. Brown's checked in. Pass to Harris. Kicks it to Harden. Oh, and James Harden throws it down hard.
And Harden, an absolutely vicious dunker. Terrific at bouncing towards the rim, but the epic throwdown.
Jackson against Harden. It's Jackson with the drive. Greg, you and I talk about the big man, his role in the current NBA, and how they can possibly carry the standard for the great centers before them. You played with the great one in Patrick Ewing, so you have a great appreciation, I would think, for.
Oh, no doubt about it. And I think two guys kind of separated themselves a little bit. Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid, I think, are the two guys that stand out for me because of their ability, in essence, to do everything well. They can shoot it, they pass it, they can shoot it from the free throw line, they give you rim protection. I throw Rudy Gobert up there as an elite center as well. Doesn't have the offensive impact that those guys have, but he does impact the game as well.
3 young, dynamic centers. Those are good names. Here's KD, and then Durant with the jam.
That's platinum level dime dropping right there by Harden. Such a smart passer. Gets us to his teammates on time and on target.
Williams inside, Brown on him. Williams inside, he's covered by Brown. Williams can't hit. For the 3. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. So for the Nets, Blake Griffin, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. And it's Green in for Joe Harris. Morris is checked in for the Clippers. And that was a great replay we just saw of our Mobile One block.
And they're determined to add to the lead, not with more offense, but with big-time D.
Brown outside. And stolen by Williams. Leonard with the ball, and it's Harden picking him up. Back to Patterson. He kicks it to Leonard. The shot will not fall. Durant with some nice D. Nets leading by 10. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Brown the pass to Griffin. And Griffin slams it in.
And that's the trademark Griffin finish. Get in tight, elevate, and throw it down with authority. Big fella is a beast down low.
Williams finds Morris. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
I mean, it's just fun to sit back and enjoy watching him operate. And that's what it looked like the D was doing as well. They're just sitting back and watching.
And so it's Brooklyn with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. Clippers trail by 10. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. We've got Reggie Jackson. Marcus Morris is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Williams at the 1. Jackson kicks to Zubac. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Leonard. Offensive rebound. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Oh, big time put back there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder.
And night in and night out, that's what he provides.
Back to Harden. Over Williams. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Outside Leonard. 1 minute now into this fourth quarter. That one, no good. And so Griffin will bring it up for the Nets. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Clippers trail by 8. Williams inside. KD's on him. And the wide open shot from Morris. Offline with his 3.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Durant up top. Zubac defending. Durant the pass to Griffin. Over Morris. It's good on the putback. And the Nets lead by 10.
Never say never with KD. He's fighting hard to protect their possession with a little help from that wingspan that goes on forever.
Pass to Zubac. It's stolen by Green. Brown feeling it out a bit. Buries it from three-point range. Brown's got the lead up to 13 now for Brooklyn. Now Jackson. Pass to Zubac. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Brown outside. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Tries a 3. The shot, no good. So the Clippers will take it the other way. It's Jackson with the drive. Nobody near Leonard. Up again. The rebound by Harden. Nets leading by 11. And here's KD for 3. Morris with the rebound. The Clippers have gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. That one goes. Count it.
Sliding his way inside. Williams taking advantage of that late reaction by the defense.
Williams against Harden. It's hauled in by Zubac. Zubac has got 7 rebounds in the game. And that one's good. Leonard.
And busting it up the floor. Leonard showing a lot of energy on the fast break. If there's one thing he doesn't lack, it's hustle.
Now the pass to Brown. From deep three-point range. And the Nets miss again. Clippers trail by 7. The finish. And the dunk by Jackson.
And all of a sudden, that great run makes this a ball game again. And now is no time to take your foot off the gas. They have got to stay aggressive.
I think they will. I mean, they're close enough to taste it. So they're going to keep that pressure on and keep coming at it.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
Yeah, really left him no choice there. I mean, he had the foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Jordan, he's checked in for Griffin. Harris comes in for Green. And Kyrie Irving subbed in for Bruce Brown. The Clippers also making some changes. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Morris. And George is subbed in for Williams. George. Here's Zubac. And stolen by Jordan. George against Harden. KD on the wing. Irving looking for an opening. To the paint. Here's Jordan. The kick out to Irving. And the Nets miss again.
And not sure they've got enough time to save themselves.
It doesn't look good, even with a quick bucket here. And George just has an uncanny knack for providing these kinds of baskets. And he makes it look so easy.
He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game.
Job well done at the line on that possession. They'll make things a little easier on themselves if they can convert those.
Here's George, and it's Paul George with the finish.
Hey, you know that George is going to take the shot when the game is up for grabs. I mean, that's who he is, and that's what's expected of him. He's an exceptional decision maker in these situations, which makes it even more obvious.
No time to waste on this possession.
Got to go right up with it and then foul immediately.
High drama here, guys. I mean, they've managed to get hot just when it looked like this thing was out of reach.
And what a huge injection of energy they got here in crunch time. Suddenly, they're an offensive juggernaut.
Harris finds Harden. And the rejection by Zubac. And so it's Brooklyn who scrapes by. All right, David, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast.
welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
And those are the starting lineups. Lots of interest. Good evening and welcome to tonight's presentation. A moment now to check out some numbers for Paul George.
And guys, his effective field goal percentage is trending in the wrong direction over the past 5 games. Shot discipline hasn't been the best. He'll be looking to play a smarter game tonight.
Here are the 5 for the Clippers. Batuma's out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Jackson in at the point. And for the Lakers, Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Morris is out there with Marc Gasol. And it's Schroeder in at the point guard position. And off the glass, that one's good. Indoors tonight, 2 experienced teams will be battling.
Well, what you come to expect with experienced rosters are excellent defensive rotations, game plan discipline. These guys know how to play the game. So let's see how this plays out.
Count that one.
Well, Paul George routinely making these difficult shots look easy. He's showing how dominant he truly is.
Now here's James. He's coming off a 25.
Oh, my! Wow. That is why the ticket price is what it is when LeBron is in town. Amazing dunk to finish the play.
Jackson up top. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Now here is George. Just 5 to shoot. Fires for 3. George missing again.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
A history of great finishers in NBA history, but LeBron will top the list before it's all said and done.
Here's George following the basket by LeBron James. Yes, that goes in.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
James, and he banks in the layup. LeBron's got 6.
Boy, they came ready to play. That's 4 straight buckets to start the game.
Outside, George. Outside, Jackson. Zubac trying to break loose. Outside for Batum. Back to Leonard. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
This is a small forward who, because he's 230 pounds, can hold his own down in the low post. That is nicely done.
And Kawhi Leonard with a very analytical approach, Doris, to the game. Studies angles, movement, trying to groove in on perfect mechanics. I mean, he does it all.
Yeah, Kev, that goes back to his favorite high school subject, which was math. And think about how precisely he has built his game. He started at the free throw line, then went to the low post, and now has added the range game. Very analytic approach.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Zubac. Marcus Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. Lou Williams is subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Here's Caruso. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
And it's Williams with the ball for the Los Angeles Clippers, trailing by 4. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
And defensively in that one, they needed to come up with big stops to quiet that crowd, and that's obviously easier said than done.
I'll tell you this, it looked like they wanted to get out of town as quickly as possible. The problem is their defense went with them.
The Clippers have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Leonard looking over the floor.
Well, if the defense gives him that shot next time, they could get burned. I think he's just a little bit out of rhythm.
Here's Caruso. The three-pointer, no good.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Leonard with the bucket.
Well, we know this about Kawhi Leonard. He can score at all 3 levels, taking advantage of the mid-range game there.
Here's James. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Lakers shooting their first free throws of the night right here.
And it's been an average year, really, at the free throw line for this group, only around 75%.
Free throw good, LeBron.
I don't know how often we can say we get to watch a once-in-a-generation talent, but how lucky are we to watch LeBron do his thing.
Jones checked in for Alex Caruso. The Clippers also changing it up. Mann's checked in, and it's Kennard in for Paul George. Now here's Williams. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet more set on that screen. Easy call.
You know, he's just leaning a little bit. You try to get away with it, but boy, the official all over it.
James against Morris. LeBron, good. LeBron's got 9.
Well, I'll tell you, if you work as hard as LeBron James, as he did in that instance, he's a physical force inside. That's going to be his shot every time.
Down low, Patterson banked in off the glass.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Lakers on top. They lead by 1. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports.
Everybody has a chip on their shoulder.
Greg, that last point is key. This team plays lockdown defense.
And that's a big part of their identity. Most teams talk about being well-balanced. This team lives it.
We welcome you back to Noche Latina. Becoming an annual tradition is always here on 2K Sports and always exciting. And what stands out to you from the Lakers in this one?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
And we know this. Every team in the league now seems to be looking to play with pace.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So for the Clippers right now, they've got Kennard, Patrick Patterson is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Williams. And it's man in at the small forward. Here's Horton Tucker. Following the score by Lou Williams. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. Here's Kennard. And it's denied.
Oh, that's merciless. Kuzma plays with such competitive energy. Wasn't letting that shot get off.
Than they used to?
No doubt. We're seeing more players demand trades, sign shorter contracts with opt-outs. And the irony of that is, in my era, our best players were fearful for the length of their contracts or the life expectancy of their careers, believe it or not. And these guys today, they understand their value. They know what they bring to the table, and they are utilizing that to the max.
And is that good, Greg, for the game?
I think so. I do think most guys want to win, and they understand that their legacies are going to be defined about whether or not they do.
You can see Schroeder's shoot-first mentality if a defender overcommits. Nicely done.
Lakers shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. And the Lakers making a change here. Gasol's checked in. And it's the Clippers with the ball. It's a three-point game. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game marks the first half of a quick two-game homestand. Here's Jackson. Zubac trying to break loose. Jackson misses. The Lakers shooting has been outstanding in this game at 58%. Here's Kuzma. Score the basket, his second of two attempts.
How about the vision of Markieff Morris? Hits the open man, has a good feel for the game. Boy, this guy can do a lot of things.
Now here's Jackson. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. It's stolen by Morris. An even 3-on-3 break. Caldwell Pope up top. Kennard covering. Here's Gasol. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Gasol's got the lead up to 7 now for the Lakers. Gasol against Jackson to the middle. Here's Zubac. No good off the back of the rim. And so Gasol will bring it up for the Los Angeles Lakers. 7-point game, the biggest lead in the game. Kuzma inside. Zubac defending. Here's Schroeder. And he uses the glass on the layup. Schroeder's got 4 points this quarter.
And creating a little separation here, gaining some confidence.
But if you continue to execute at both ends, you can build on this lead.
The drive by Jackson, and the shot is good. Jackson's got his first basket of the night.
And with the defender draped all over him, Jackson has that strength to fight through the contact.
Schroeder against Jackson. Kuzma outside. Stolen by Zubac. 1:41 left here in the second. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Outside, Batum. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Caldwell Pope. Some changes for the Lakers. LeBron comes in for Kyle Kuzma. And it's Alex Caruso in for Dennis Schroeder. Leonard, he's checked in for the Clippers. Paul George comes in for Luke Kennard. Clock at 2. Keeps it alive. Great positioning on the putback.
And that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it? Here's Caruso. He is still scoreless so far in this one. George against Caldwell Pope. Pass to Caruso. And he's good on the 3-ball.
This offense just continues to impress.
Clippers trail by 8. George looking over the floor. Pass to Zubac. Back to George. Takes a 3. No good that time. And the Lakers take it the other way. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
Well, they came into that game looking to be physical, looking to control the boards, and they succeeded.
That control of the boards, I felt, fed their offense. There were a ton of second chances, a lot of confidence their bigs could dominate the glass.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
The finish and transition, nice and easy.
Jackson down low. Three-pointer. It's hauled in by LeBron. Caldwell Pope with a wide open look and off target as he starts the game 0 for 1. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers.
Thanks a lot. LeBron, are you getting...
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2. LeBron James had it going on in the first quarter. He had 11 points and 3 rebounds. And that does it for our halftime show. We now...
And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. Look at LeBron James. He's really been playing well.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
One of the things every player is after is efficiency at the offensive end. And boy, this young guy has done just that.
Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Markieff Morris is out there with Marc Gasol. And it's Schroeder in at the point. That's the group starting the second half for Frank Vogel.
This is where the defense says, uh-oh, because LeBron James is cooking.
Here's Jackson following the basket by LeBron James. Jackson, Zubac trying to break loose. Jackson misses. Lakers leading by 12.
Well, you think about Marc Gasol. This is a former defensive player of the year. Obviously, he's not the star or the focal point he was at the peak of his career. But this guy still impacts the game at a very high level.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in. Build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. George with the ball. Now guarded by Schroeder. Outside for Batum. The second chance effort. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Their first basket in 4 tries. Let's see if that basket gets them going. It can be contagious now.
Schroeder passes to Morris. Inside. Schroeder outside. Over Jackson. And it's Schroeder missing.
And Doris, with Gasol, it's on the defensive end where his impact is felt the most.
That's exactly right. He still makes life difficult for opposing centers. He's strong. He's smart. He knows all the tricks of the trade. Watching Marc Gasol play is a pleasure. There's no quitting this guy. He just gives you great effort, and he continues to give you great production.
Here's Schroeder. He has 6. George with the ball. And the lead is down inside single digits. 8 points for George.
Well, we know Kawhi will always attract lots of defensive attention, which puts him in a position to find his teammates. Pretty pass.
Now here's Schroeder. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. Down low. Here's Batum. George trying to break free. A shot by Batum, no good. And so it's Morris with it. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Lakers. They're leading by 8.
Boy, he's at the cup, but that is tremendous defense. Prohibit the lay-in without fouling.
LeBron against Leonard. Lakers leading by 8. The drive by Schroeder. From deep. Offensive rebound.
Defense forgets about Morris and pays the price. He loves to score and can do it a number of ways.
The Clippers have gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. Left side, George. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. George has got 10. Your son, Cole Gregg, was one of the top high school players in America. A lot of services had him #1. Talk about what it was like going through the recruiting process as a dad.
You know, it was fun for the most part because he really kind of kept everything in perspective. And the teams we dealt with, the schools we dealt with, man, they were all top-notch. So that process, about as enjoyable as one could ask for. But at the same time, it's still stressful, man. That's still your little guy getting ready to head off to college.
Well, you're a dad and a proud one at that. Now here's Jackson. There's the pass to Zubats. And he comes up with the deuce. 6 points for him.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Schroeder outside. There's 38 seconds left in the third. LeBron against Leonard. LeBron kicks it over to Schroeder. Gasol. Great positioning on the putback.
Boy, that big body, those long arms, so hard to keep Marc Gasol off the glass.
Left side, Leonard. Over James. Leonard, no luck.
I'll tell you, this guy is doing absolutely everything he can to get himself going, but the team is struggling because he's struggling.
And the rejection by Zubats. It'll count. Oh, he got it to go!
Wow, how about that?
That's a miracle. Are you kidding me?
Listen, under duress of the end of the period, you just throw it up and hope.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Here's Williams. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth. Lou Williams out there with Kennard. And it's Marcus Morris. And it's man in at the small forward position. Now, here's Kennard. Passes it to man. 6 on the shot clock. The Clippers need to get off a shot. And Jones pulls it down. Lakers leading by 7. Kuzma passes to Horton Tucker. Harrell, great pass to set up the lay-in. Harrell's got his first bucket of the night.
Well, you see why Harrell shoots such a high percentage. This guy takes great shots that all fall within the structure of the offense.
Here's Oturu. The kick out to Williams. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Lakers shooting a smooth 58% from the field. Everything going according to plan for them on that end. Here's Caruso. Makes it off the glass. And now an 11-point Laker lead.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Williams up on top. He's defended by Harrell. And there's the call on Montrezl Harrell. That's his first foul. Outside Williams. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
How about the focus of Lou Williams? Inside, able to finish. Nice.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. Pass to Horton Tucker to the inside. Here's Harrell, and Harrell slams it in.
This young guy is an absolute monster at the rim. So tough for opponents to match Harrell's level of physicality.
Now Williams. And here is Harrell. And even 3-on-3 break. And so they foul intentionally.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Timeout called the Lakers. Greg, you played against some terrific players, including the late, great Kobe Bryant. I'd love to hear your thoughts on playing against Kobe.
I mean, his passing is still tough, I'm sure, for many to deal with because he was just taken from us at such a young age. But this guy was a ferocious competitor and someone who showed us in life and in tragedy that you need to make the most of every moment that we have here. You know, I just appreciated to really the fans getting to know Kobe once his career was over, because I think he was able to let his guard down a little bit and show us a lighter side, a more compassionate side.
That is an excellent point. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
During that break, Frank Vogel had some real words for his team. His demeanor was not one of a coach whose team was well ahead. He said, this is the time to turn up the heat, make one final push, and try to close out strong. We'll see if they were listening, guys.
And good to see Jackson finish closer in. Not a guard who just chucks up threes, can find the creases with that handle.
Now, here's Kuzma. Back to James. It's hauled in by Zubats. Zubats has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
We see Paul George just understands how to use his length and his size. He is such a tough cover close to the basket.
And George drops them both.
Well, this guy has multiple ways to get to the free throw line, and boy, has his stroke been on the money.
Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. George against James. Kuzma passes to Gasol. Shoots over Batum. Rocket 6. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Well, there's something to be said for hustle. Even when you're as great as LeBron James, he's got the size and the strength, and he seems to know where he has to be.
Now here's Jackson. Zubats finds Batum. Three-pointer. Rebound the Lakers.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
And it's Schroeder in the corner. Pulls it from the elbow. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. And the Lakers lead by 13. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Clippers.
Well, nice job crashing the glass. You'd love to see that kind of effort.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for the Lakers.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
And they found a way to get their shots to go down. A little luck didn't hurt. A lot of their 50-50 shots fell their way.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins. And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for LeBron.
He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
A nice shot by George.
Well, we know that Paul George understands there's a certain point in the game when he's got to take over, and he's doing it now.
In the corner, it's Morris. Schroeder, right side. Lakers passing it around. And a wide open look for James. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. LeBron's got the lead up to 14 now for the Lakers. Here's Jackson. And the layup's good off the glass.
And with a quick first step, Jackson remains a threat to drive on any defender.
James looking it over from deep three-point range. And no good that time.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
Boy,
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg.
So Alexis, I have to say the All-Star events were really fun to watch from right here, but what was your favorite moment being there?
Man, I look forward to All-Star Weekend every single year. But my favorite event is always the dunk contest.
Well, you got to bring me a souvenir. You have my address, so let's make it happen.
Next week, I'll be back at 2K headquarters. Until then, here are some of my highlights from All-Star. Enjoy.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
And in the locker room, each guy has been going over. And we've got a quick moment now to take a look at the long-term rebounding numbers over several seasons for DeAndre Jordan.
It's a concerning trend for him. Whether he's lost some strength or just isn't putting in as much effort on the glass as he used to, he's not rebounding nearly as effectively anymore. And that's something that needs to change.
And now the Lakers starting group. Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Marc Gasol is out there with Markieff Morris, and it's Schroeder in at the 1. And for Brooklyn, DeAndre Jordan is out there with Durant. Then it's Harden. Then it's Kyrie Irving. And it's Harris in at the 3, the small forward. And so the Los Angeles Lakers get the first points of the ballgame. To the middle. Well, we know, Chris, most teams are who they are at this point of the season. But there are some teams that are still trying to figure themselves out.
Yeah, that's often the result of a star getting injured or a teammate getting traded or a chemistry issue. But those situations can be frustrating for everyone. James is such a powerful player. Amazing at how he draws contact on the way up.
It's his first trip to the line. First free throw is good. And both free throws good for LeBron. And it's Harden with the ball for Brooklyn. About a minute played so far here in the first. And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Well, when you draw this much attention from the D, you know someone's bound to be left open, and Harden finds it.
Harden against Schroeder. Banked in off the glass. Schroeder's got his second bucket of the night.
I like that pick play. I mean, you can see how easily it makes it for him to get to the cup.
Here's Harden, and Harden with the stuff.
Now look, nobody takes more contact than Harden inside. Nobody's better at scoring through. And last season, we saw teams double and trap James Harden more than any other player in the league. As soon as he crossed half court, they did not want the ball in his hands.
Morris finds Schroeder. Lakers working the ball around now. 6 on the shot clock. And finished off by Gasol.
Look at Morris break down the defense on this play. If they leave one of his guys open, he's going to get it to him fast.
Yeah, and all the trapping had to frustrate Harden. But whatever may come, he's going to make the right play.
Yeah, and he can, Jay, because he's not just a good passer. He's a great passer. He averaged over double digits assists the year they played him at point guard. He makes you pay for sending help.
And the basket by Harden.
Lights out here, right out of the gate. Perfect 4-4 from the floor.
James looking around. And foul on the shot he'll shoot. And yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered on the personal foul call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call,
that was a strong dunk.
That's how you go hard. Oh, come on. Hall of Fame, athleticism, and ability. James has no problem throwing it down in style.
Outside Irving. Pass to Harris. From deep. He can't hit that time. And the Lakers going the other way now. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just
way too many mistakes.
Well, how often do we hear it? You know, you got to take care of the basketball. I mean, they got to be much more disciplined tonight.
Harden with it. Now guarded by Caldwell Pope. Here's Irving. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Irving's got his second bucket.
Love how Irving mixes it up. Outside, inside. He's effective at playing to his strengths.
And Harrell slams it in.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Here's Harden. He kicks to Griffin. Shoots over Kuzma. Misses off the left iron. And Caruso's got the ball here for Los Angeles. It's a 5-point game.
Well, all you have to do is lob it up to James. His timing on these alley-oops, incredible.
55 seconds left in the first. Here's Jordan. And the rejection by Harrell. And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Green, he's checked in for Jordan. Luwawu Cabarro comes in for Harris. And it's Brown in for James Harden. Landry Shamit's checked in for Kyrie Irving. Here's Harrell. That one doesn't go. Great D that time from Green. Kicks it out to Jones. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And there's the pass to Kuzma. That's tipped. Passes it to Horton Tucker. Kuzma inside. And that one is good.
Awesome at keeping his balance. Sometimes guarding Kuzma is impossible for the defense.
Shamet the pass to Griffin. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And so it's LeBron James making things happen for Los Angeles. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. We come back right after this. And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And taking a look at the Lakers' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing in the game?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Yeah, how many coaches say, we want to start fast? Now, let's see if they can maintain that intensity.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. Landry Shamet is out there with Brown. And it's Durant. Then there's Green. And it's Luwawu in at the small forward position. Here's Kuzma. Jones. It's good on the putback.
Timeout.
Jones has got the lead up to 11 now for the Lakers.
Nice tip in there. I mean, he's got like a sixth sense in terms of where the miss is going to go. That is really a talent.
Timeout called the Nets. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And really showed their depth when they needed it most. On the road, having to manufacture points.
The bench did exactly what they needed to do. Without their production, who knows if they win that game?
Some changes here for the Lakers. Marcus Gasol is checked in for Damian Jones. Markieff Morris comes in for Harrell. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Alex Caruso. KD on the wing. Covered by Morris. Here's Green. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Greg, not all drafts are the same in terms of talent. 2019 was a year to remember.
No doubt about it. I mean, transcendent talent at the top. You think of Zion and Ja, both could be future league MVPs. And the irony is that those two guys were teammates in high school. Go figure.
Yeah, go figure is right. Here's Kuzma. And he banks in the layup. Kuzma's got his second basket.
Takes some strength to finish through that kind of contact, and Kuzma's definitely put in his share of work in the weight room.
Here's Durant. They get it again.
Hard work on the boards. A lot of competition for that one, but he's got the limp to be the first one, too.
Kuzma, left side. With some arc, and it's finished off inside by Schroeder. 6 points for Dennis Schroeder.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
High post, KD. Morris is there. Puts up a three. Shot is good, and the Los Angeles lead's cut down now to just 10 points with that basket from Durant.
Look, what are you supposed to do against Durant? There's not much you can do.
Now here's Schroeder. He's coming off a 16-point game against Minnesota. Dishes it to Gasol. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. And the Lakers lead by 12.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high-percentage looks from inside.
The Lakers have gone 4 of 6 from the field here in the second. Here's Schroeder. Horton Tucker, the pass to Morris. They double him with Green. Here's Horton Tucker. Kicks it out to Schroeder. Back to Gasol. Second chance shot, and it's good on the layup. Gasol's got 4 points this quarter.
Look, with his size, with his strength, with his brain, there's no reason Gasol shouldn't be able to dominate the game offensively.
Now Shamet. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Here's Luwawu, and there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
He was hoping to avoid a third foul before the break. Now, he might have to sit out until halftime.
James Harden, he's checked in for the Nets. Lakers leading by 14. LeBron James on the wing. He's covered by Brown. And James gets it to go. LeBron's got 11 points.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Harden surveying the D. The shot, no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them do a little bit of everything in that game. Showed a lot of versatility.
Yeah, the offense looked cohesive last night. Whatever challenge the opposition presented, they answered with confidence.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Green. Griffin comes in for Kevin Durant. Joe Harris is checked in for Brown. And Kyrie Irving subbed in for Landry Shamet. Over in the corner, Caldwell Pope hits the three-point bomb. Caldwell Pope's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. There's 49 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Outside Irving. Pass to Jordan. The shot's good.
Well, here's the thing. Irving draws so much attention from the defense. I mean, there's always a guy left wide open.
29 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. LeBron outside. Fires for 3. Brooklyn with the rebound. They get to take on the Magic at Orlando after this one. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
Almost impossible to stop on the drive at times. I mean, Irving's penetrating ability, just remarkable.
James outside. And that one drops for him. LeBron's got 13 points.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
You have to go to your best scorers. I mean, it's a smart strategy.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K's. LeBron James had it going on in the first quarter. He had 13 points. And that.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. What can you say, LeBron James? What an impressive effort today.
In that first half, he was a hot knife, and the defense was butter, sliced right through them.
He did a great job of attacking the seams, getting to the rim, and then finishing strong.
Checking out the group of Frank Vogel to start the second half. Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Markieff Morris is out there with Marc Gasol, and it's Schroeder in at the 1. Irving drives in, misses from short range.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And Joe Harris, the lethal shooter, he can also be a threat in the pick-and-roll game.
Yeah, Harris does a great job reading what a defense is given. He's more than just a catch-and-shoot type of player. Harris can hit shots on the move and isn't afraid to go at defenders.
Greg, you showed toughness and grit when you played. You've got to succeed in this league with those things at the forefront, right? Being tough, being gritty. And there are several players whose style you admire that play like it.
I mean, no doubt about it. You have the superstars, the Kawhis, the LeBrons, who continue to do it. They can intimidate you physically, but they also provide tremendous skill set. But two other guys, Russell Westbrook, Jimmy Butler, they're also guys that exemplify that toughness. You know, two guys, when you look at those two, a lot of people didn't project them to be what they've become, and it's impressive to watch them take the floor night in and night out.
Nobody near Schroeder hits the jumper in space. Schroeder's got 8 points. Nets trail by 17. Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. Here's Irving. The putback.
And they get one. Now 1 of 5 here in the third.
The Lakers have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. James dishes to Gasol. LeBron against Harris. James the bounce pass. Here's Caldwell Pope. Tries again. Morris kicks to Caldwell Pope. Morris trying to free himself up. And shot by Caldwell Pope, no good. And the foul called on Markieff Morris. That's his first foul. So for the Nets, Green, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Luwawu-Cabarrot comes in for Joe Harris. And it's Brown in for James Harden. A nice shot by Irving.
As hot as he's been, it still has to be him who leads the charge and helps turn this game around.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Schroeder passes to Morris. And Morris throws it down.
Wow. The size of Morris helps him down low, especially when he decides to sky high for the dunk.
And here's Irving. He's got 10. It's in and good for his 6th field goal in 10 attempts.
And that solid play in the paint continues here, guys.
Here's Horton Tucker. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Morris with the ball. Pass to Horton Tucker. Clock at 4. Looking for Kuzma. He gets it there. Hits the front of the rim and out. Nets trail by 13. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That is his first foul of the game.
Really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Griffin's checked in for Luwawu-Cabarrot. And then for the Lakers, Jones checked in for Markieff Morris. Montrezl Harrell comes in for James. And it's Alex Caruso in for Dennis Schroeder.
Just rubbing it in their faces with that dunk.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
What a performer this guy is. He relishes the chance to hammer it down. I mean, he has his choice of finishing. Love that he picks the finger roll. Grace for power.
The pass to Harrell. 1:14 left to play in the third. And there's the call on Durant. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Some changes for Brooklyn. Jordan comes in for Green, and Harris subbed in for Durant. Here's Harrell. Jones trying to get open, and it's Harrell missing. The Nets have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the 3rd quarter. 4 of 8, and finished off by Brown.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
They needed that, and I love that he just didn't settle for the lay-in.
Here's Harrell. The shot, no good. Griffin with some nice D. Nets trail by 11. Shooting foul as the whistle. And it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul. That triggers a replay review by the officials.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Timeout called the Lakers.
And when he first came into the league, Blake Griffin's dunking made headlines. And while I'm sure he enjoyed that, he was also eager to show that there was more to his game.
.34 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Caruso looking for an opening. Six to shoot. Passes it to Harrell. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. There's 14 seconds left to play here in the 3rd. Harden right side. And the jam by Harden.
Oh, and Harden is just ferocious with his dunk, just ramming it in the defense's face.
Here's Caruso. Over Harden. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's Los Angeles, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. Defensively, they have had their sights set on Kevin Durant, and they've done a terrific job holding him in check. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
This is the versatility you need to play in today's game. Two guards have to be able to make plays for others.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this 4th and final quarter. We've got Harden. Griffin is out there with Joe Harris. Then there's Brown, and it's Jordan in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there.
Off his leg, and they're saying he kicked the ball. James checked in for Los Angeles. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Alex Caruso. Timeout called the Lakers.
Every timeout, a chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
You know, that's what coaches are paid to do, right? I mean, curious to see what they go with here.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
During that break, Frank Vogel had some real words for his team. He said, keep grinding. We're in good shape. Things aren't always going to go perfectly. Don't let that slow you down. Let's just stick to what got us here. Kevin, we'll see if they can build on this lead.
Thanks so much, David. And the technical free throw is good.
And Caldwell Pope is a guy you cannot leave open at any time. He's just a very good shooter from any spot on the floor.
And the Nets making a change here. Irving's checked in. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Well, he's been doing it all night. Why not go back to him?
Exactly. Give it to the guy with the hot hand as long as you can. Let him try to close this out.
Morris is checked in for Los Angeles.
Well, the GOAT watch continues. Every year, every accomplishment goes into the analysis. I mean, LeBron would probably never be able to escape.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. Look at LeBron James. He's really been playing well.
He's been a force inside. If they don't commit more bodies down low, he's going to keep destroying them in the paint.
Harrell, he's checked in for Morris. And it's Harris with the ball for the Nets. They trail by 9 points. Schroeder against Harden. Harris trying to get free.
And when Harden is going strong at the rim, he's looking for the throwdown, ripping the rim down hard on that one.
Now here's Schroeder. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. And the Lakers lead by 9.
You love how each side has risen to the challenge throughout this one.
Yeah, it seems like whenever one team scores, the other comes right back with a bucket of its own.
Harden's shot is good.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Timeout called the Lakers. The Nets making a switch here. Durant's checked in. Lakers leading by 7. Now James. And James throws it down.
The way James dominates on the offensive end, making it look effortless tonight.
Irving against Caldwell Pope. Here's Jordan. It's rebounded by Gasol.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Caldwell Pope dishes to Schroeder. Good on the bucket.
This game would have a different look if it wasn't for his shooting. I mean, 100% from the field for him.
Harden outside. He feeds it to KD. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got 5 assists tonight.
And when the D thinks Harden is going to shoot off the screen and roll, he threads the needle with the perfect pass. What a player.
Schroeder outside. Caldwell Pope on the wing. And it's off from three-point range. Nets trail by 9. Irving with a clean look. They get it back. Jordan kicks to Irving. Shot clock at 6. And stolen by James. Here's Caldwell Pope. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
And the versatility of Caldwell Pope, not just the score from outside, but also a threat to shoot the ball close to the hoop as well.
Here's Harden, and Harden with the stuff.
I mean, already hot coming into the game. Is it fair to say he's hotter?
And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Caldwell Pope on the wing. From outside the arc, and stolen by Harris. It's Harden with the drive. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
You tell me, how do you defend that? With Harden's strength and command of the Rockets, it's almost unfair.
Schroeder passes to Caldwell Pope. Back to Schroeder. Stolen by Harden.
And not sure they've got enough time to save themselves.
Yeah, it's quite unlikely, but we've seen crazy things happen.
And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Markieff Morris is checked in for the Lakers. It's stolen by Harris. To the paint. Here's Jordan. And Gasol sends it back.
You got to be wary of Gasol. I mean, he's good at using his length to turn away shots.
Gets the first, and that stretches their lead to 8. And so he drops them both. It's a 9-point ball game here.
And it's a wrap. Any chance they may have had for a comeback just went out the window with those free throws.
Johnson outside. Pass to Llewellyn. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. And so the Lakers take the win. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up.
weekend, check out Rush 3v3. Win 4 games in a row for a chance to score VC, exclusive MyPlayer items, and more. On Wednesday, make sure you head to the cages, because all day long, you can jump high and earn double rep. Next weekend, get ready to conquer the courts, 3-on-3 style. 2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Our cameras caught the Clippers arriving at their building and coming.
Hey, Kevin,
There's been a transformation here in LA. There is no doubt about that. DA, thank you. So the Nets starting 5. Durant is out there with Harris. Then there's DeAndre Jordan. Then there's Irving. And it's Harden in at the 1. And for Los Angeles, Jackson is out there with Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Batum in at the 4 spot. Now here's Jackson. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break. Irving leading the charge.
Kyrie, such a blur in the open court, leaks out so quickly and then gets to the right spot in transition.
And here's George. Right now, checking his stats, he's averaging over 23 points a game. Lays it up off the glass. And Brent, these teams boasting great depth. Many feel that's a hallmark of a great front office.
You go back and you look, Kevin, at some of the teams that have made deep playoff runs or eventually won the championships. You know, that tinkering about bringing in a veteran or just one piece to make that next step for that one matchup or that one series. Finding contributions like that up and down the roster, absolutely, that can make a difference.
Here's George, following the basket by DeAndre Jordan. And George, there he goes!
You don't want to be jumping on a play like that. No. Wow, he was up there, Kevin. Paul George dunk contest, he's maybe a little older, but I love to see him get up.
Now, here is Irving, averaging around 27.5 points a game, one of the best in the league. Jordan with the bucket.
There's some easy offense there. Keep finding looks in that area, and their shooting percentages tonight are going to be off the charts.
Here's Jackson, following the basket by DeAndre Jordan. Jackson against Harden. And here's George for 3. The shot comes out, and Brooklyn will come the other way. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And really showed their depth when they needed it most. On the road, having to manufacture points.
Yeah, and watching that, all kinds of contributions and just little things that guys were doing to chip in for that win.
Here's George, following the basket by Kyrie Irving. It's hauled in by Harris. For Brooklyn, they've gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Irving passes to Harris. He feeds it to Jordan. And the rejection by Zubac. And pushing it up, here's Los Angeles. Leonard with the bucket.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
George against Irving. That one falls.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, right now I don't see any let up. I think he's going to just keep putting his foot on that gas pedal tonight.
And the versatility of Paul George's game, elite defense and rebounding, steals and deflections.
When you think about Paul George moving to several teams, yet still having the impact on both ends of the floor, I think that is a telltale sign that you have an elite talent in Paul George.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Jackson dishes to Leonard. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Leonard's got his second bucket. And so it's Irving. He brings it up for the Brooklyn Nets. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Harden the pass to Harris. Leonard with the steal. Jackson with it. He's picked up by Irving. George, no good.
His touch has left him in this quarter. Nowhere close to the kind of output they need from him.
Here's Jordan. Good on the short little jump shot. And that's now 6 points for DeAndre Jordan.
Well, he's knocking down most everything, guys. 3 of 4 here.
Now George. He's coming off a 28-point game against the Mavericks in Dallas.
Well, he's passing another high point in that game. He made sure it wasn't all about him. He wanted to get his teammates involved.
Harden against Jackson, and the jam by Harden.
Yeah, just constantly attacking the paint. Harden does not settle.
Clippers trail by 4. Jackson with it. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. And now the fast break. Irving with the ball. Here's Jordan. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. They faced off right here last time they met, but the home club just couldn't pull out the win.
And turnovers were the story for them when they saw each other last. I mean, just a heartbreaking way to lose the game.
Irving attacking. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Irving's got 8 points.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Here's Zubats, and the dunk by Zubats.
Man, he sure can get off the floor.
He one of the best in the business, absolutely. And Harden launches it from deep. And that one released in time, but no good. What a performance for Kyrie Irving. He has been... And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the Nets, what do you think?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Yeah, they did a great job. Just the initial thrust of that attack, as soon as they got the ball, constantly in transition.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Setting the floor for the Clippers. We've got Williams. Patrick Patterson is out there with Morris. Then it's Luke Kennard. And it's man in at the 3, the small forward. Patterson, that's good.
Great sign when Patterson's connecting from deep. Everything for this offense starts to loosen up.
Shamet kicks to Brown. Pass to Green. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's Shamet. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. And Williams, here we go. And it's Griffin with the rebound.
Well, he creates such a great opportunity right at the rim, and he just can't get it to go. Even with the defense not really a factor.
Now here's Griffin. Outside, Green to the inside, and too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. Clippers trail by 3. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Williams looking around. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
So good at driving to the rim. Even though he's a little bit older, Williams still with great speed, change of pace, and picks the right angle.
A 3-time Sixth Man of the Year. Last season, Lou Williams named his newborn son 6 in honor of his success in that role.
We talk a lot about the Mount Rushmore of the game's greatest players. Maybe we can start to chisel out the sixth men of the year in the NBA. Lou Williams would have to get some serious consideration for that monument.
Now Shamet following the three-point attempt by Lou Williams. Green dishes to Griffin. Over Patterson. And again, no good by Brooklyn. It's stolen by Green. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
Here's Williams. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production.
Such a dynamic scorer, inside, outside, it really doesn't matter. Lou Williams is a huge threat to score, especially coming off the bench.
Now, here's Shamet. They lead by 1. Passes to Brown. Shoots a 3. Another shot. Over to the wing. Here's Luwawu. Offensive rebound. Outside for Griffin. Tough possession there. They stayed with it, but they just couldn't make it. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Williams in the post. He's covered by Shamet. Clock at 6. Here's Mann. He's covered by Brown. Pinon. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. The Nets have gone just 2 of 8 shooting here in the second quarter. Brown the pass to Green. The kick out to Brown. Back to Green. It's stolen by Morris. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles.
He's so dangerous as a scorer. Lou Williams can recognize when there's openings. This time it was a teammate.
Brooklyn trailing. Now, here's Shamet. He gives a bit of a scoring lift to the team, averaging 8 points a game. The pass to Green. Back to Shamet. Fires from deep. Shot clock reset for the Nets. Second shot opportunity. Here's Green. That shot off. Good work defensively by Morris. The Clippers have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. From deep 3-point range. And it's out of bounds. And they say last touch by Griffin. Jackson against Harden. And here's Jackson. Here's Zubac. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. Zubac has got the lead up to 3 now for the Clippers. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we read. Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings. And for the Clippers, the wing tandem of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George inviting pitching. Thanks for joining us.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. You look at Kyrie Irving in this game, he has been everywhere.
Definitely been challenging the defense here early on, not settling for anything outside.
Yeah, you want these kind of nights where you can start to see those openings before they happen.
Setting the floor for the Nets. We've got Durant. Irving is out there with Harden. Then there's Harris. And it's Jordan in at the center, filling out the middle. Now, here is George. Poke loose and stolen by Kyrie Irving. In the corner, Harden. Here's Jordan. And slam dunk by Jordan.
Man, there are not many times where DJ does not just rip that rim down.
Now George. He's got 6. Over Irving. And it's George missing.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
Now, here is Irving. He's got 8, and there it is for him. A lot of great talkers over the years, trash talkers on the floor in this league. Do you think they do it more to get themselves going, Greg, or do they do it with the purpose of getting under their opponent's skin?
And Kevin, that's a great question, and believe it or not, you see both. I've seen guys who do it to get under your skin, and I've also seen guys that do it for their own benefit. That's how they derive their confidence. And so It's about you figuring out what works for you. I've seen some guys, they don't say smack. They don't say a word during the course of the game, but they will cut your heart out. So it's just about what fits your personality in terms of making you play your best.
Well, I'm glad you don't trash talk here on 2K, Greg. I'll tell you that right now.
No, we don't do that.
Kyrie not backing away from the contact there. In fact, welcoming that one tricked you into it.
Here's Jackson. Basket counts. Jackson's got his first points of the night.
Well, he's too good a finisher to blow that kind of chance, but that's going to be a wake-up call to the defense.
Here's Harden. And Harden with the stuff.
And once Harden has momentum behind him, watch out. I love seeing the beard flush it down there with some power.
A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Irving against Jackson, and it's James Harden with the rebound. Brooklyn leading by 3. George with the ball. He's got 6. And Harden comes to help. Leonard with no one around. No good. That would have tied it. For Brooklyn, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Jordan with it. And Batum picks him up defensively. We've got 1:55 left in the third quarter. Jackson gets the bucket.
I'll tell you, one thing Jackson has never lacked: confidence. I mean, when he gets a look, Reggie always believes his next shot will be his best one.
Now, here is Harden, one of the most consistent producers in the league. He's averaging around 25.5 points a game.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Here's Jackson. James Harden picking up that last basket. Jackson down low. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Zubac's no good. Nets leading by 3. Harris passes to Irving. Stolen by Zubac. Leonard inside. Covered by Irving. Jackson misses. The Nets have gone 6 of 8 on field goal attempts in the third. A 75% clip.
Yeah, there's some explosiveness inside Kevin Durant. He shows it off there.
And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for Los Angeles. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. And that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand. Down low, and here comes Harden, leading the fast break.
Maybe the best ever at earning free throws. I mean, Harden has mastered the art of contact and still being able to get off the shot.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
And, you know, guys, he had a big game at the free throw line in their last outing.
Brooklyn making some changes. Griffin's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Green comes in for Joe Harris. And it's Brown in for Kyrie Irving. Now here's Williams.
And really credit their advantage on the backboard. That's where the lead has been built, and that's why they are in control.
Clippers trail by 7. And Patterson kicks to Morris. Fires the 3. Rebounded by the Nets. Green's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Harden inside the 3-point line. The shot misses. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. It's the Nets as they wrap up the third quarter with a massive 16. Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. The Clippers shooting at a decent 44% clip here. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Williams. And it's Morris in at the 3 slot. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Left side, Griffin. Harden inside the 3-point line. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Here's Morris. Outside Williams. To the middle. Patterson can't get it to go. Nets leading by 7. Here's Durant. Count the basket. Durant's got the first basket as we get going in the 4th for the Nets.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Williams attacking. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Yeah, in a way, Lou Williams, a little bit like J.R. Smith, he'll welcome the chance to finish off, especially if it's a difficult shot.
Harden dishes to Griffin. He kicks it to Brown. It's Durant on the wing. And they pick up 2.
Well, Kevin Durant, over the past couple seasons, has been in the top 5 as the best mid-range shooters in the league.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's George. Makes it off the glass.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Now here's Harden. Outside Durant. Fires the 3. That doesn't go either for KD. Clippers trail by 7. It's stolen by Brown. And now here's Durant, the fast break opportunity. And KD throws it down.
Yeah, that's the kind of passing that opens up the eyes to Blake Griffin's overall talent.
George against Harden. And George, here we go. Plays it up and banks it in. George has got 4 this quarter.
Well, that's how you draw it up right there. A screen to shed the defense, a quick move to the bucket, and you get the lay-in.
George against Brown. Kicks it to Griffin. Harden outside. Harden draws the double. Shot clock at 5. Griffin passes to Harden. Pulls up. Kept alive. And Griffin stays with it. Griffin's got the lead up to 9 now for Brooklyn.
Yeah, offensive rebounds are about effort, and Blake Griffin showing it there.
Williams against Brown. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Yeah, that's one way to get back into this game. Keep getting him the ball and let him make the shots.
Harden up top. He's guarded by Williams. And the whistle blows as the basket counts. And a 3-point play chance right here on free throw coming up.
And Harden's such a creative scorer, especially when he gets in close to the basket.
So for the Clippers, Zubac is checked in for Patterson. Batum comes in for Morris. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Lou Williams. And then for Brooklyn, DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Griffin. Harris comes in for Green. And Kyrie Irving subbed in for Brown.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
There's 1:26 left in the game. Irving passes to Jordan and then jammed down as he goes right over Ivica Zubac.
Look, DeAndre Jordan and the rim, those two are best friends.
George against Irving.
And all you got to do is look at the rebounding margin as to why they hold the lead.
Well, every time the shot goes up, guys are doing a nice job of finding bodies and making sure there's room to collect a rebound.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for the Nets.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you what, they're both excellent rebounding teams, and it was a tough battle underneath all game, and I think ultimately that earned the W.
And so it'll boost this year's win total for them to 29.
And they've really had a dominant run of games against this opponent this year. They played them 3 times and won every one.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Kyrie Irving.
He affected the game so much with the way he was able to come out and get steals and extra possessions for his team.
And so George will bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. It's a 14-point game. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock.
Well, you can depend on Paul George to shoulder some of this offensive load. There are times where this team can turn over the reins to him, and he capitalizes that time.
Harden outside. Irving looking for an opening. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight.